Today we have a very eventful edition about the life of the Danish royal family. While King Frederik has gone abroad on a private trip, Queen Mary continues to fulfill her duties at home. And at the same time, the young Crown Prince Christian has temporarily taken the reins as regent. Let us dive into the details of this interesting situation and find out more about what awaits the royal family in the near future. On Saturday, the Danish royal court confirmed that King Frederik had traveled abroad on a private visit. By tradition, when it comes to the personal trips of the monarch, the royal court does not disclose the details of his whereabouts. However, the royal calendar gives us some clues about the length of his absence. From Saturday, the 27th of September, until Tuesday, the 30th of September, Crown Prince Christian is officially appointed as regent of the country, which means that the king is indeed outside of Denmark. It is worth noting that the king's absence coincides with the beginning of the prestigious regatta Les Voiles de Saint-Tropez, which started on Saturday in the south of France. For those who follow the royal family, it is no secret that Frederik is a great sailing enthusiast, and in the past he has not only attended, but also taken part in this famous maritime event. Although the royal court refuses to comment on whether the king really traveled to Saint-Tropez, such a version looks quite plausible. And to be honest, it is hard to imagine that a passionate yachtsman would miss the chance to sail again at exactly this time. Nevertheless, the king must return home already on the 1st of October. The reason for his early return is quite significant. The king and queen will be hosting guests at an official dinner on the occasion of the European Political Community meeting, which will take place at Amalienborg. Here, the contrast is immediately felt, from the romance of sailing races to the strict protocols of a diplomatic reception. But this is exactly what the life of a modern monarch is about, balancing personal passions with responsibilities to the state. As for Queen Mary, while her husband is abroad, she is not sitting idle. According to the royal calendar, on Tuesday, the 30th of September, she is scheduled to visit Esbjerg, where she will take part in the Lift event organized by the Mary Foundation. This project is aimed at helping young people who suffer from loneliness, a subject very close to the Queen's heart. It is worth pointing out that Mary has always stood out for her empathy towards those who feel excluded from society. It seems that it is precisely in such initiatives that she shines most brightly, not only as a queen, but also as a person. It is unknown whether Mary accompanied her husband during the first days of his absence, but given her scheduled obligations, it is quite likely that she stayed in Denmark. When it comes to substituting for the monarch, Denmark has a clear protocol. Crown Prince Christian, as the direct heir to the throne, serves as regent. Queen Mary, Queen Mother Margrethe, Princess Benedicta, and Prince Joachim also have the right to act as regents when the king is abroad or for other reasons cannot perform his royal duties. For a country with deeply rooted monarchical traditions, this is not just a formality, but an important symbol of stability. For 19-year-old Crown Prince Christian, the year 2025 has turned out to be especially eventful and significant. At the beginning of the year, he began his basic military training in the Hussar Regiment in Slagelse. Danish media published many photos and videos showing how well the young heir adapted to military life. After the summer break, Christian returned to service, this time beginning his lieutenant training at Ontforskov Barracks in Slagelse. At present, the Crown Prince is undergoing the first module of training, which will last 8 months, followed by a second module. According to information from the Danish magazine Billed Bladet, after completing his training, Christian will serve as a platoon commander in one of the army regiments for 12 months. At that time, he will face an important choice: to become a platoon commander in the Royal Guard in Hovelte near Birkerød, or in the Hussar Regiment with a permanent base in Slagelse Barracks, where he underwent his basic training. This is only the beginning of the Crown Prince's military career, and it will be very interesting to follow his further path in the armed forces. For Christian, who has grown up before the eyes of the entire nation, such steps are like a test of strength. Is he capable of taking on the role of defender of the nation? Looking a little ahead, it is worth noting that King Frederik and Queen Mary are preparing for an important diplomatic event. On the 6th and 7th of December, they will host the President of Egypt, who will arrive in Denmark on a state visit. This visit is of great importance for strengthening relations between the two countries. It should be emphasized that such meetings always become a litmus test for the diplomacy of a small but influential country like Denmark. It is necessary to show hospitality, but at the same time maintain firmness in political matters. As part of the state visit, the royal couple will host the President of Egypt, and on Friday, the 6th of December, a grand gala dinner will take place at Christiansborg Palace in honor of the distinguished guest. The president will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, the Minister of Trade and Investment, as well as a delegation of Egyptian businessmen. As always, such events will serve not only as an official gesture, but also as a platform for real negotiations. Sometimes more is decided at a dinner table than at a formal meeting. And already on the 6th of October, Queen Mary will take part in another important event. She will present this year's Christmas stamp at a festive ceremony in Copenhagen City Hall. As a longtime patron of Christmas shelters across the country, the Queen continues a tradition to which she has been faithful for many years. This time, Mary will not be alone. She will be accompanied by Emily Melgaard Jacobsen, a children's author and illustrator who created the design of this year's Christmas stamp. This event, which at first glance may seem modest, in fact plays a huge role. It reminds us of solidarity and care for those who face the holidays in difficult circumstances. Thus, despite the frequent absence of the king, the Danish royal family continues active work both inside the country and on the international stage. Queen Mary focuses on social projects, especially those that concern the well-being of children, while the young Crown Prince Christian continues his military education, preparing for his future role as monarch. It is clear that the family is working together. One strengthens international ties, another supports society, and a third is learning responsibility for the country. Ahead of the Danish royal family is a busy autumn and the beginning of winter, filled with both official duties and personal interests. We will continue to follow their activities and keep you informed about the most important events in the life of one of Europe's most beloved royal families. Thank you for joining us in today's edition of the Royal Diary. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so as not to miss our next features about the lives of European monarchies.